Page 13, panel 1, biggest panel on the page, high overhead of Metatron as he leans atop Dante's grave, addressing Jay and Silent Bob. Metatron says,
"As for your cadaverous colleague, whose grave you seek to rob, I am the Metatron, herald of the Almighty and voice of the one true God. As the Lorax spoke for the trees, Metatron speaks for the Lord. And the Lord would like me to politely remind you two calamities of
catechism.
Catechism.
That's a tough one, man.
Of an inconvenient truth. When it comes to those who've triumphed over the grave, it is a very exclusive club."
Give it up for Jess, man. That's a mouthful. Panel 2, Jay and Silent Bob point to Dante's headstone, all hopeful as Jay says,
"Well, can't that club include Dante?"
Metatron indicates the name on the grave where he's leaning and says,
"I'm sorry, but no. Your friend had his time."
Page 14, panel 1, Metatron stands again. It says to Jay as he throws up the horns of Silent Bob,
"Let this absence in your life act as a regular reminder to appreciate all those who are still present. That is the gift of death."
Ooh, the gift of death would be an awesome name for a King Diamond song.
Panel 2, Metatron by himself, wings spread. Metatron says,
To quote from the great work, "The universe has to move forward. Pain and loss, they define us as much as happiness and love. Whether it's a world or a relationship, everything has its time and everything ends."
Panel 3, Jay and Bob are in awe, man. Metatron has his hand to the side of his mouth as if he's telling them something in confidence, Jay says.
Wow, that shit actually made me feel better. Is it from the Bible?
Doctor Who. Season 2, Episode 4, entitled School Reunion. Written by Toby Whitehouse and expertly acted by Elizabeth Sladen.
Panel 4, Metatron by himself says,
"Point is, look around you, boys. Your friend is here right now."
Page 15, panel 1, Jay and Silent Bob strike back-to-back defensive poses, preparing to karate chop a ghost, as Jay says.
Holy shit! We gotta find a poltergeist, Silent Bob! You trying to ghost us, Casper? Bustin' makes me feel good!
Panel 2, over the overly defensive Jay and Bob and onto Metatron, who smiles warmly, even patiently, as he says,
"Your dead friend isn't here physically. I was speaking more metaphorically."
Panel 3, biggest panel on the page, Metatron, arms and wings spread wide, says,
"The atoms that built your body have existed since the very beginning of the universe, formed from stardust billions of years before you were born. And as it can neither be created nor destroyed, all the energy introduced by the Big Bang at the infancy of existence is fixed quantity that remains the same to this day. Do you know what that means?"
Page 16, panel 1, Metatron cups his mouth, whispering to a mystified Jay and Silent Bob. Metatron says,
"It means your friend never left. He's still here, all around you."
Like the fucking Force.
Panel 2, man, Metatron rolls his eyes. Behind him, Jay and Silent Bob, a high five in the background as Metatron says,
"You people. If there isn't a movie about it, it's not worth knowing, is it?"
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!
Panel 3, Metatron points to the Buddy Christ statue and says,
"Return Buddy Christ to his perch in the church, gentlemen. Once you do, I can at least erase that transgressive entry from your sin ledger."
Sin Ledger would be an awesome name for a King Diamond song.
Panel 5, Jay turns to Metatron, who's looking up, preparing to leave. Metatron says,
"One King Diamond reference I can abide by, but two means there's most certainly a third en route. So it's my time to go."
Wait, we got questions. How's Rufus and Stripper Dippity? Yo, how's the lady in the tutu?
Page 17, panel 1, Metatron gives us a Dogma update when he says,
Rufus has found reward. In the age of streaming, serendipity has been busier than ever. And God, she remains a mystery. As inscrutable as an average Apple agreement.
Panel 2, an arms crossed Metatron addresses a shy Jay and Silent Bob, their hats in their hands. Jay says,
Mascatron?
Metatron.
We got one more thing to say before you go.
Well then.
Panel 3, Jay and Silent Bob being very serious, as Jay says.
Me and Silent Bob just want to say that it was a real honor and privilege to get to work with you that one time. We don't meet a lot of people who are excellent at what they do, let alone genius. So you were, and still are, one of our favorite people we've ever met. And on top of that,
Take it home.
we miss you, man.
Give it up for Jay, man. Page 18, panel 2 on Metatron. Metatron says,
You're both very sweet stoners. And if you keep your noses clean, you just may see me again one day.
panel 3, over Metatron onto Jay and Silent Bob, as Metatron says,
But in the meantime, I must go. Before this classless reunion gets too scented metal.
Panel 4, Metatron urges Jay and Silent Bob to step back as he spreads his wings wide. Metatron says,
You might want to take a step back, boys.
So we don't get hurt?
No.
Page 19, splash page. Metatron takes off into the sky, leaving a tiny Jay and Silent Bob on the ground far below. Flying at us like Superman, wings wide, Metatron says,
So your jaw has somewhere to drop.
Give it up for Jess, man! One more page, take us home.